Good afternoon, and welcome to the third episode of Leadership Talks for 2018. Leadership Talks is a 20-minute Q&A every Thursday at 12:30 Eastern Time with an industry leader. Before we start, as we did the last two sessions, this is sponsored by PSA Security. PSA is the world's largest systems integrator cooperative made of the most progressive security and audiovisual system integrators in North America. Combined, PSA members boast over 400 branch locations, employ over 7,500 industry professionals, and are responsible for over $4.5 billion in annual security, fire, and life safety and pro audiovisual installations. PSA's mission is to empower systems integrators to become the most successful companies in the markets they serve. PSA brings this mission to life by partnering with industry leading product and solution providers and delivering unparalleled education and training programs, including PSA Tech, which we'll talk about as we finish the program today. Let's get started. Today's industry leader is Guy Morgante, President, Managed Services for Northland Controls. Welcome, Guy.
Welcome. Thank you, Tim.
So I start the same way every week. Programs called Leadership Talks. So, of course, my first question is, tell me about your leadership style, your personal leadership style.
So I'd have to say that my personal leadership style kind of comes to get everybody involved in leadership. You build leadership kind of from the ground up, and giving people within your organization an opportunity to show their leadership skills, and then help them grow in areas where they need to improve. So creating an environment that the expectation is everybody has a voice, everybody can, their opinion matters, and everybody can participate in discussions. You know, I've always believed that ideas for advancements and different things that you need to do in any organization don't necessarily come from the top. The top puts together a structure that allows everybody to participate in that, and then you not only get buy-in from everybody that's there because they participated in the process, but you know, it just moves forward quickly, and you also then can start to identify those individuals that may be moving to the next level of the leadership, and it's just a real helpful environment. So that's kind of been my philosophy for a long time on leadership.
Okay, great. I'd like if you can give us an elevator pitch of Northland Controls, and then briefly tell us what you do for Northland Controls. What's your job?
Okay, so Northland Controls is a specialty worldwide integrator. So we specialize in doing design builds for large enterprise customers, and we generally only take on large enterprise customers, and we've focused both on high tech because we're in the Bay Area, so customers like Apple and Facebook and others, and then financial institutions like a Visa, and we support those with offices all over the world, and we do systems all over the world. We probably did projects in 80 different countries last year, you know, and do the standards, do the complete implementations for all of those from a security standpoint, everything from program management to application engineering to design and everything that goes along with security type projects. So what I do is I run the managed services group. So a while back we decided that we wanted to work on our continuing revenue streams so that you had RMR. And so we started the operational side of security. So if you think of and have ever been into a GSOC at a large corporations, well, we've taken that, we built our own GSOC, and we outsource that entire function, and we bring that to both large and small companies. So I run and kicked off that division and run that division on a worldwide basis.
Excellent. Your website for Northland Controls touts quality people. How do you find them, and how do you keep them? Again, I'm going to talk about leadership here, and then, you know, in a little bit, I'm going to get into more of the, you know, what Northland does and projects that you've worked on. But so how do you find people and how do you keep them?
Yeah, I mean, you just hit on the head. It's probably actually the number one challenge, not only for Northland, but any company that's out there in the industry. We have a pretty hot market in the Bay Area right now, so it's becoming increasingly challenging. But the main thing is we put our culture first, and we have a pretty rigorous process of using top grading to go out and find the right candidates. If you look through it, you have a set of initial interviews of maybe 4 to 6 people within the company, and if any one of those people, for reasons that they put forth, says that that's not a candidate, then that candidate is gone. So that's how you really start to make sure that you're getting the right cultural fit and the right people. And we've come at it from 2 different sides. One, we've gone through and looked for people within the industry, because you constantly need senior people and different people that have that industry expertise. But we've also augmented that with just good people. When you come across somebody that is just really, they're good, they're dynamic, they're hardworking, we try and figure out a way to bring them into the company and then put them on training programs. We have PMs or application engineers that have no security experience at all. And we go about teaching them. We have that kind of runway that we can do that, and that makes actually diversifies our employee base because they have a lot of different background experiences that they bring to bear, and it's been able to help us continue to grow the company, and we've done that, frankly, on all of our international offices all over the world, and it's been very successful for us.
So, what's the average age at Northland Controls, and have you done anything to attract and bring on younger, maybe more tech-savvy members of the team? Anything different to attract?
So that's an interesting question. I'm gonna have to guess because I actually don't know the answer to that, but I'm gonna say it's probably around low 30s. Would be my guess. So we've done a number of different programs where we've gone out and looked specifically for college grads in different computer science backgrounds, construction management backgrounds, people that have project management experience, those types of things. And again, that's that concept of not having industry experience and bring them in and teaching them. We find that first 6 months are a little, you really have to put a lot of time in it, and then you start giving them bigger and bigger projects, and within a year or 2, they are full-blown members of the organization and contributing and can take on large projects and do whatever they need to do. Because of where we are in the Bay Area, obviously tech, for all the companies that we deal with, is a huge part of what we do. So we have, in the Bay Area alone, we probably have 40 different application engineers that support all of our different enterprise clients. So we're constantly believe that IP technology, you have to have that as a background to be successful. So we specifically go out and target those types of people.
Excellent. So I just want to go back to you for a second. I looked at your LinkedIn profile, and one of your connections, this guy Dave, don't know the last name, said that your forte is making lemonade out of lemons. So what does Dave mean? And how can you kind of explain that when it comes to dealing with people, looking at your leadership skills, and then dealing with projects?
Well, couple things, I guess. Lots of questions there. So, you have to look at the situation and take every situation, whether project or something that you're trying to implement, and take it head on and understand what's working and what's not working, and being able to pivot from that. Everybody puts together a plan, and the plans are wonderful because you put your ideas out there and you understand what you want to try and do and what the objective is. And then you start actually implementing that plan, then stuff happens. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Whether that's, you've got a plan to go live on a certain date and the network's not there, so you can't start commissioning all the different technology pieces. You have to figure out, okay, so how do we get that? How do we get from here to where we are to there, and not accuse people of failure. I'm actually a big believer in that. I look for people that have scars, and what I mean by that is that if you sailed through and you've had this wonderful career and you've never been challenged, I have no idea what's going to happen to you when you are challenged, because it's going to happen, whether you break down, whether things don't go well, or you lose your head or whatever. But if you have scars and you've been challenged to this, you understand, okay, well, we just have to do a little more work here. We have to pivot. We have to take other ideas come in, and how do we get things from point A to point B, and you just move forward. And that's, because it's the nature of the beast of the business that we're in. Stuff is going to happen on any type of project that you are, and you have to recover from that. And then how are you going to move that? And another principle that I was taught very early on that I've taken all the way through, whenever you identify a weakness or a problem, make that problem known as soon as you can, and then also provide a solution for that problem. Because, no matter what happens, the problem doesn't go away. If you try and hide it, it just gets worse. So the sooner you can identify that, then you can actually have different strategies to get around that problem. And that's been a principle of how I've done different projects and how I've done different things. We all would love to say that we get projects done on time all the time. Well, we know that certain things, are going to happen in that, and it may be a case where you're doing a project and the network's not available. Okay, so how do we get around that? Can we get them to get networks for just the external doors? So at least we get that piece done, and then we move through, and you work with the customers and you work with everybody to understand what it is, and you get a solution that fits everybody, and because they all buy in because they're part of that solution. So that's been a critical piece on quote making lemonade out of lemons, so to speak.
So you said the word projects a bunch of times. What's been, amongst your 2017 projects, where have you been most challenged? And is there any project type that's most prevalent in Northland?
So Northland has part of its core culture is a line item that says take on challenges. So it's something that we do. So we're fortunate that we are the security vendor for effectively one of the largest projects, construction project in the U.S., and that is the new Apple headquarter campus. And if you can imagine, because of the way they are with design, everything has a unique design. Nothing is standard. So that's just a huge challenge to make all that happen. And they're rolling it out and moving people in at the start of the end of last year, and it's still going on as we speak today. So that was probably, from just a scale, was just a huge challenge for the company. The second one I will say is, as we continue to move forward, we've been fortunate enough to lead the way in what we're calling the managed service on the operational side, and convince people that, you don't have to have your GSOC and your security operations center in your building. And because we always like to say that there's only one building that has the GSOC located. The rest of them are all remote. And so to get that, we've been able to transition people to start thinking in a newer way that, no, you don't have to have that, and make that happen. And that's been one of our big challenges, just talking with people and understanding what they need and making that happen. So those are a couple of the challenges that we've taken on in 2017 and moving forward. And then the third that you actually kicked it off is people. Because we've been growing, we continue to look for and have to get people, and it's as you go through one section or one, growth spurt to another, the company has to bring all those people in and teach them the culture. It's one of the things that we focus on as a company as we continue to talk about amongst the executive team. How do we continue to get all these new people coming in, have the same cultural beliefs, and act the same way we always did that got us to where we are? And that those are probably the challenges that I would call out for 2017.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah. You know, you talked about your offices worldwide. Did you say 80 countries?
Yeah, well, we don't have offices in every one of those countries. We have offices in Singapore, Shanghai, London, Bangalore, Washington D.C., and then in the Bay Area. What we use is we use a net. Yeah, we won't use it. Yeah, we cooperate with all of those. Yeah, we're all linked together, and we just have a process that we use as we transition projects all around through that. Those are the leaders of all those different projects come from each of those different regions. And then we use a set of local service providers, which is a network that we've put together over the years that own and do a lot of that installation for us on each of those different countries all over the world.
So what percentage of your business is North America versus Europe versus EMEA and Asia? So where's most of it?
The most of it is in North America. We're probably about, I would say about 60% North America, 30% EMEA, and 20% APAC.
Okay. All right. I understand that Northland does some, talking about people and the culture, team building activities and community outreach projects. Can you talk about that for a few minutes?
Yeah, we started. So we're real fortunate that our CEO Pierre Chapanese is what I like to call a world citizen, and he believes in getting people out of their comfort zones and challenge them. So we do every 2 years we take 20 to 30 or 20 to 40 Northlanders and partners and customers on what we call a challenge. So we have driven motorized rickshaws across India for 1,000 kilometers, and we run it as kind of like the Amazing Race, where you don't actually know where you're going. You're just given a destination, and you don't get to use GPS or maps or any of those things. You have to go talk to people, and you have to get out and do different challenges while you're in there. We've done it in India, we've done it in Georgia and Armenia. We went to Uganda and Rwanda, did things over there. We've also started now putting a kind of more of a community service piece within that. And so we actually, in Rwanda, we installed solar at a school. Actually helped start a solar company to promote solar charging stations throughout Rwanda at different homes. And so then the last one we just did, we did actually, a lot of our European folks said, well, we wanted to do something in the United States. So we did that went from Arizona up into the backcountry and up into Northern California and installed solar panels in a Indian big house. So we tout that as, part of the culture that you're out, getting out, experiencing new things and doing different things, and just that camaraderie that comes back from those is just amazing. The people, and we have at all of our different offices, I guess we're kind of big solar promoters. We do projects with different companies, grid alternatives, and so forth, where we're helping the community do different things. We're really working on our social capitalism piece of the company and continue to promote that and make those things happen. But that goes into the culture of what we're trying to do and portray to companies and to our employees that are coming in, that this is the right way to act and this is what you should be doing. So it's a big piece of what we're doing.
That sounds incredible. It really does.
Yeah, it's pretty. I have to say, it's. I've been on 2 of them, and it's unbelievably amazing to be out there. If you could have seen when we first did the one in Rwanda and turned the lights on at a school that never had electricity, The excitement of the administrators and the students that they had there was just beyond belief. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah,
so it's kind of fun.
Yeah. So I guess we are running out of time. We got about 1 minute, and I guess
Okay.
How does 2018 look for you guys? What are your thoughts, and what do you see in terms of hot trends?
So 2018 is pretty exciting, actually. I mean, some of the bigger trends that we're seeing is people are waking up more and more to the idea that the InfoSec groups have to combine with security on the physical side. So you have to start taking into effect all the devices on the network and how that goes forward and what you're going to be doing, and you have to take that on as a challenge when you're putting those things out there. Clearly, people are becoming much more tech savvy in our industry, and they're moving forward with the different types of identity management systems that are out there, and people are asking for a lot more. I hear a lot more requests from when are we going to be able to use our phone as a badge, right? That was, that's becoming a very, very hot topic, and there's starting to be some solutions that you could actually start to think of. Yeah, these might start to work. So those are some of the, probably what I see as the hotter trends, and clearly more and more people are becoming more comfortable with cloud computing, and it's going to change in how we do systems today. You don't have to have servers everywhere. Just take it to the cloud. No longer we have to get to a point where we're not doing capital investments, and we're just more of the OpEx side of things. So those are probably some of the things that I see coming out a lot of.
Excellent. Yeah, no doubt. I think cloud is, I mean, it's inevitable, and it's going to be the only choice. You're not going to have a choice other than cloud. So
absolutely, it makes no sense. I mean, with all the regulations coming down, you have to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are out of time. Guy, I want to thank you for joining us. Before we end, though, I'd like to just have Kim Garcia join us from PSA to talk briefly about PSA Tech. Kim? Are you there?
Kim?
There you are.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, it's all you.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to kind of give everybody a quick highlight of PSA Tech coming up in March 2018. So this year we will be having Tech the week of March 12th, right in the heart of downtown Denver, which we're all very excited about. This year we have over 140 education sessions that we have developed specifically for the systems integration community, as well as all of the teams of people who make systems integration companies work day to day. The executive leaders, technicians, project managers, procurement, sales and marketing, and so on. There's really education content there for everybody. Our mission at PSA is really to help our integrators become the best in the markets they serve. So attending a conference like Tech that really focuses on educating an entire team at a systems integration company is really one way that we've found that integrators can kind of move that needle in their business. So, and then in addition to all the great education content, we host over 100 product and service providers at our expo hall, which will be on Wednesday the 14th. And those expo hours are dedicated exclusively for the expo floor so that attendees don't have to make the difficult choice between all the great education and seeing what's new from all the manufacturers and service providers. So Tech is open to all industry professionals, not just for PSA members. So we would encourage everyone to take a look at what's coming up, and registration is open at psatech.com. Thanks, Tim.
Excellent, Kim. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kim. Guy, thank you for your knowledge and your words today. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Look forward to next week. Join us when I talk with Sandy Jones. That doesn't really need an introduction. So next week, Sandy Jones. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.